I already know that, man. I love Nip, man. I don't know. I think you know we were getting ready to do a movie together right before he died, called 38. Spend a lot of time with him, man. Just a good dude, man. But I will tell you this, Jamal. I'm happy you're doing okay, man. I know you had a little bit of a health thing. I want to tell you I love you, man. But more importantly, I want to also tell you, man, I try to say this every time I see you. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you for everything that you do for Black journalists and for Black critics. And I'm a big fan of you, man. And obviously, you know, I don't talk to everybody because everybody don't get it. But I do know I have watched you interview me when one microphone pointed my direction. You was the only person like, what's up with this dude? You know what I mean? So as time goes by now and things happen, I just want to tell you, man, I really appreciate you for being there day one. Yeah. With me and my family and my wife and with Katt at the 1901 BET Awards or whatever year you said it was. I appreciate you, man.
Katt. I don't know if we got Katt all the way in. Katt, you good over there on the text?
Oh, his phone, it'd be like flickering sometimes.
No, that's a lie. I haven't said nothing. Come on, his phone be flickering. The good people at Apple not gonna like that for me.
Your thing is freezing, Katt.
No, I ain't saying nothing. That's not me freezing, that's me frozen. Yeah, because I concur. I'm saying it's not many Black journalists out there, period. So he hit the fact that he's exceptional and is known is a big deal, you know what I mean? Yeah. I was just concurring with everything he said about him.
Well,
yeah.
I
Black Tree does good work.
Oh, appreciate that.
So hopefully all that froze.
No, we heard
it. It didn't freeze.
Your pictures froze, but we
were saying good stuff.
There you go. Now you're moving around. But I want to start first.
Yeah,
words, Deon and Katt. But I want to start on you, Deon, because I mean, I do feel like it's more than just this business relationship. I've been out to meet your family, your dog. I've been in your backyard, everything, you know. So I feel I got a personal connection to you, and I usually don't talk about relationships. It's kind of like my Black Tree thing. I stay out of the people's bedroom or whatever. But I gotta know for you, like, how important is it, like this whole journey, for you to have somebody so capable and accomplished in what you do in Roxanne as your partner?
I mean, you know what, man? I don't even have the words for that. You know, I've always been around strong Black women. My mom was a single mom, and you know, she, my mom then fought with me in the park. You know what I mean? Like after basketball games, you know what I mean? So being able to find someone like Roxanne that reminds me a lot in terms of the energy of my mom, holding me down, fighting with me daily. And, you know, we've been in this business for a long time together, you know? So there's been a lot of moments, man, where this town and this business that we're in has kicked me to the ground. You know what I mean? And we're like, yo, I don't understand like what we need to do to find success, or why can't we get a phone call, and she's been there to hold me down the whole time, man. So, you know, I think that sometimes, man, every now and again, man, God puts certain people in your life that's meant to be there, you know, and they're meant to help you and fight with you and stand with you and help you get through things. And sometimes those people are seasonal, but every now and again, man, you're extremely blessed to have someone that can stand next to you for life. And Roxanne has represented that. And I'll tell you one thing, I'm just happy. I'm happy for her now that people are discovering her as a producer. You're talking about, you know, a small Black independent production company that has $100 million in box office receipts. And people still like, oh yeah, I said, no, she produced every movie I've ever done. You know what I mean? So it's just great to have someone like that. And, even fading into the house next door, Katt, Katt has picked up a part in my life as well. You know what I mean? Where you're like, damn man, like I said, every now and again you get to meet somebody real. And this is a very, very tough business. And believe it or not, Jamal, 99% of the people you meet are wearing masks. So it's very rare to meet someone that does not have a mask on. You know what I mean? So I think, Roxanne has been someone that I know does not wear a mask whatsoever. And then being able to see Katt and know who he is truly, like his heart, his soul, what he's about. And, we have to protect people like that. We have to protect people like me that have integrity and heart and energy and love in them. You know what I mean? Because it's a cruel place. But yeah, we've been definitely blessed, man, to have Roxanne and, and now even with this film having Katt.
I think we just lost Katt for a second, but let me ask you about that, because Meet the Blacks one, you got Paul Mooney, the late great Paul Mooney, you got the late great Charlie Murphy, and now you have, and this Meet the Blacks 2 in House Next Door, you have Katt Williams. Can you talk about Katt as a talent and what he's meant to just the comedy genre, and also as comedians on film, what he's added to that whole genre? Because I know he has a roster of films now that he's done. I'm not talking about you like you're not here now, Katt. You back, but can you talk about Katt as just a talent and what he brings and filling that void that Paul and Charlie leaving on that film?
Yeah, man, it's funny, man, because when I think about part one and look back at part one, I do. That's probably the heaviest thing for me is obviously, Charlie Murphy. Charlie was a friend of mine, man, but Charlie was like very instrumental in calling people for me. Charlie called Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? Mike, come on down here. Like, I remember watching him on the phone. You know what I mean? He was like, here, talk to this nigga, tell him. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. But he was just, and the only reason that Charlie didn't have a bigger role is because his schedule was crazy and he was trying to move stuff around. You know what I mean? But yeah, I miss him, man. And Paul Mooney was great. But yeah, when I look at the whole franchise now, and I understand how blessed I was to be able to make that first little movie that we really understood, and now have a second one with a giant like Katt. You know what I mean? It just makes you go like, wow, man, like it's just special. Like even now when I look at the trailer, I'm like, damn, that's Katt. You know what I mean? Like that's Katt flying off the roof of a house. And you just go like, and then I read the comments and I read people going, my favorite comedian, top, legendary, goats. You know what I mean? And you go like, wow, you really have to just take a moment, man. So many times, Jamal, we're so in a hurry to get to the next thing or pat ourselves on the back that we don't never just breathe. And this movie is important for me because I want to breathe on this one. I want to watch it. I don't care about no box office. I made this movie for the culture. It's gonna win. It's gonna keep winning for a very long time. But even the premiere, man, I'll tell you, I just told Roxanne today, I said, look, we gonna sit down and watch the movie at the premiere and we gonna walk the carpet and we gonna slow down. We just gonna enjoy this because life stopped for a year and a half. You know what I mean? So all of the things that we're being able to do right now, man, we understand, man, we could have not been here. When you think about George Floyd, when you think about COVID, when you think about, people storming the Capitol, when you think about diseases, just like, man, like at some point you just got to be like, thank you, Jesus, for being here. Thank you, God, for allowing us to have this great product. And more importantly, thank you, God, for allowing us to be able to work with Katt and Mike and be able to get a culture movie on June 11th. So that's kind of my feeling on that.
Okay, can I talk to you a little about the start of your career? Because I know you grew up in Ohio, were born in Ohio. You've done something that I haven't heard of many Black people doing, emancipating themselves from their parents and doing this whole thing. And I'm guessing that you started at a young age, like hustling and doing your thing. Like, what do you attribute your comedy style to? Does it come from doing it on the street? Does it come from just like, I mean, do you have anything that you attribute your style to a little bit of how you deliver your comedy? You're on mute, Katt.
Can't be happening. Yeah, no, I hadn't said anything important. Sorry. If somebody on this device says too many nice things about me, it just shuts off. And so Deon way over the limit of acceptable smoke on my device. But yeah, so the thing that kind of separates me is I'm not my biggest fan comedically. I didn't come into comedy like that. I came in loving to laugh and being an avid consumer of all things that I could get my hands on comedically. And it didn't matter to me if it was Monty Python or Mom's Mabley or whatever piece of genre that it fit. If it was comedic, I enjoyed it. Then later on in life, I was blessed to be able to explore it as a money-making career type of option, but my love of it was already established. And so it changed how I desired to present it. All of the comedic greats before me already were famous by the time I started. It was going to be, is there anything that I can do in this short period of time that can get me into the hall with these greats? But I had gotten such great examples because I had read everybody's autobiography and studied their story. And I was that guy reading the books about the people in the industry in the 20s and the 30s. So I had a grasp on the medium before I understood that I would of it. So that was helpful. And public speaking was in my background. I was speaking to 10,000 people when I was 7 years old in a shirt and tie. It's just the life experience. I had already been out of the country doing missionary work by the time I was 16. I had already been to Marine Corps boot camp. Like, it's just a lot of different experiences. But in our field as a comedian, especially a stand-up, it's about your life story and your experiences. And we know now that the more experiences you have in life, the better equipped you are, the better you get a better idea of how things go. And so it's been a joy to be in a place of work that champions that. I'm only funnier because I'm around people. I'm in all of the hoods across America, seeing funny people and hearing funny conversations. So I'm just a representative of my core demographic, as we all are. It just saves you from having to cross over if you're already in the promised land.
I wanted, like, I spoke earlier about all the interviews we've done. I mean, Perfect Holiday, First Sunday, BET Awards. But one of the most controversial and most viewed interviews that I have is a 2013 interview with me when we talk about the Illuminati. And I wonder, like, did you get any blowback for like talking about, because everybody loves to repost that thing. Like, it gets reposted and stolen from my YouTube channel more than any other video. But when Katt Williams talked about the Illuminati, Deon, if you haven't seen it, you gotta see this interview. Like, everybody loves this interview. Like, how does that ever come up in conversation? Does anybody ever bring that up, that conversation we had?
Yes, but not blowback, because there's not the entity to deliver the blowback. Like, there's no foothold on it, and that's how they operate best. But the thing that made that interview so reaching to so many people was that half of it was me and half of it was you. And you made it possible for that conversation to take place. And I trusted you to have that conversation that generally is only had privately and whispered when it's held privately. But the fact that we were both in that discussion and having it is what made it solid. And yeah, like I get more respect from my enemies than I get from the people that are with me. The enemy has no choice but to respect me. I'm formidable, and I am a willing vessel of my God. So the enemy puts all of the respect on my name, to the point where when I walk in, the enemy wouldn't dare talk. It's the people that love you that have a different perception of you and a different treatment of you. But I've got nothing but positives from it, as I hope you would have as well.
I have. You always dropping jewels. I know we running short on time, but Deon, I gotta know, House Next Door coming out. I mean, people are starting to go back to the movies. How soon do you think we're going to get back to that full capacity in the movie theaters? And how much do you think the audience is now going to appreciate more today than they did a year and a half ago, when it was just, we could go to a movie when we want to, like that experience of going to the movie theater and being able to sit with your friends and strangers and have a laugh at a movie like House Next Door?
You asking the wrong person that.
Yeah, I'll answer that. I'll answer that. Yeah. So the whole thing is like, you know, as a fan, we've all seen movies privately at our house, and we've also seen movies at the theater. So now we're comfortable doing either. But when somebody spends the big money to make it look good and sound good and feel good, it has to be presented in the best form. It's like saying, couldn't the Lakers play the Nets at the little park down the street from here? Yeah, they could. It's got 2 goals. It's got everything it needs. It's got little bleachers. Yes, they could. But when you have great content, you can then pick the venue that's appropriate for that content. Putting a subpar, lackluster piece of film on a movie theater is not going to make it a better movie. It's just going to be bigger. But things with explosions and intrigue and suspense, and when a director has put Marvel type quality direction behind a project that's a comedy, that deserves to be seen in its best light. And it's going to be seen in those other lights anyway. Like, it's going to be on a streaming service. It's not a choice, but you certainly don't pick the lowest ring first if you're Simone Biles.
Got you. And I appreciate y'all time for sure. Can't wait to check out the movie. And I know the audience can't wait to check out the movie, and can't wait to see you guys again in person.
Yeah, you're going to see us in person at the red carpet, man.
And as always,
for sure,
this is Katt Williams, and thank you for tuning in to Black Tree. They're going to be so disappointed you didn't ask me anything else about the Illuminati.
Right. And let me say my last piece, man. Go see The House Next Door, June 11th, starring Mike Epps, Katt Williams, Danny Trejo, Gary Owen, Michael Blackson, Little Duval, Zulay Hino, Brisha Webb, Tyron Turner, the whole crew, man. Support the movie, support Black production, support Black stars, and more importantly, man, support the culture. Hollywood wouldn't do it, so we did it, man. You know what it is, man. Come on, man.
There we go. All right, y'all. Peace out. Appreciate your time.